Kitco Mining special coverage of the Mining Investment Event of the North is brought to you by EMX Royalty Corp.
OIII Mining is the exploration and development arm of a group of companies that knows Quebec well. Jose Vizquerra, he is president and CEO. Jose, welcome back to Kitco.
Good morning, Michael. Thank you very much for having me. It's a real pleasure.
Let's talk about OIII Mining, firstly within the context of the Osisko companies. How does OIII Mining fit in?
Well, OIII Mining is the third iteration of Osisko, and we are a development company. So this will be, I think, the third mine that we will have the Osisko group of companies, being the first one probably being Windfall, the second one under Osisko Development, and this will be the third one in production under the umbrella of the group. No?
Mm-hmm. We'll get into what you're focused on, but just talk about Osisko's lineage within Quebec.
Well, I mean, Osisko began in 2003, and the most success we had under the Osisko group was the discovery, development, construction, and beginning of production of Canadian Malartic, which was subsequently sold to Yamana and Agnico for $4.3 billion. So Osisko returned over 20 times the investment to many of the investors, if it was not more, in average. And from that point on, we stayed in Quebec. We feel very comfortable in Quebec. Our beginning with the second version of Osisko, which is Osisko Mining today, with the Windfall deposit, focused in the urban berry, where we have now around 6.5 million ounces, and that will continue to grow with extraordinary grades and doing very well. And then OIII Mining, where we have an extraordinary project in Val-d'Or, in the same jurisdiction by coincidence where Osisko was born. We're only 12 kilometers, in fact, to the north of Canadian Malartic.
Tell us about the project, where it's at right now.
In the case of Marban, we have done our preliminary economic assessment. We are going to get our pre-feasibility done in the first week of September. And where we are is we have moved from having a global resource of 1.8 million ounces. Today we have everything in measured and indicated, so we have drilled very, very close. And now we have 2.4 million ounces, in measured and indicated category, which has made a very important change for us. We are moving from a preliminary economic assessment where we'll be producing 116,000 ounces to where we are today, which we are aiming to look for a project of 150,000 ounces production profile.
I believe that the infrastructure around where you are is pretty good too, right?
It is, and that is a real blessing. In the case of Quebec, the rule of law is very important, but in the case of Val-d'Or, even more important, to your point, infrastructure. We have railroads. In fact, the railroad goes through Marban right now. Yeah. We have roads, we have airports, we have water, we have energy, clean energy, because it's hydropower. Mm-hmm. We have manpower, which is not less important. And then we have the support of the government, plus the benefits that we have with taxes. Because if you remember, one of the important things about Canada in general is the ability for junior mining companies to do flow-through shares. In the case of Quebec, we have the opportunity to do better terms even in terms of flow-through, which is fantastic.
There was a transaction, I believe, with Cartier Resources. Can you bring us up to date with that?
Yes. So as part of our strategy, since we started OIII, we wanted to be very versatile, very disciplined, and to execute on a plan. And part of executing into a plan was to move our properties, the ones that are not base, the ones that are not core, into other companies where these can actually revamp. Mm-hmm. We did that with Garrison, with Moneta Gold. We did that now with Cartier, which essentially they had a stamp in the middle of the east side of the Cadillac Break. We had all the properties surrounding them. So we believe that in order for them to show more potential than the ore body that they have right now, but to actually demonstrate that there is other ore bodies that are in parallel, we put all together. In exchange of that, we got 17.7% or 17% of Cartier.
What's your financing situation right now?
We're in a very good situation. We have roughly $100 million in cash and equivalents. 80% of that is mostly in shares. Mm-hmm. Shares from Moneta Gold. We have shares from Cartier. We have shares from Troilus. We sold a property 2 years ago in exchange for shares. We have a royalty out of Kenora land. We have some shares of Blue Thunder. We have been doing this reallocation of assets to maximize value since we started in 2019 in a very disciplined and organized way.
Lastly, Jose, what are the catalysts over the next 12 months?
Well, certainly the first one and most important one will be the pre-fees.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then from the pre-fees will be the finishing of our baseline studies and the beginning of negotiations towards the permitting.
Jose, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I'm at the mining event of the North here in Quebec City. My name is Michael McRae, and you're watching Kitco Mining.
Kitco Mining special coverage of the Mining Investment Event of the North is brought to you by EMX Royalty Corp.